If you have watched my VOD streams in the past, you will come to realize that resource management is extremely important to perfect as a support, especially when performing as Baptiste or Moira. Because I know not everyone within my YouTube audience actively watches my streams on Twitch, I decided it may be a good idea to touch up on this topic again, as it is extremely fundamental to each character, and even pros make this mistake. I hope that my lesson will help others within the community as well. That being said, next week I plan on kicking off my Unranked to GM Ana only series over at my Twitch once the season resets. I plan on fully calming on stream as well as explaining everything I am doing upon asking. That being said, I also plan on reviewing some of the games throughout the series and uploading them to YouTube. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all the exciting new content coming soon. With that all out of the way though, enjoy the video and happy learning. See you in the next one. If you want to introduce yourself, your peak, your name and game, what you think you did wrong, or just what you're looking to improve upon here.
Alright, hello, my name is Nonce. I play for Team 2 or Team XY Esports. What I mainly think went wrong in this game was the team not playing well enough together, and probably I could have used my window better for the team and not just for my Ryan.
Okay. Understandable. I mean, from what I saw when I did the overtop VOD, windows are the easiest thing to kind of see from a third person perspective, but I'm going to be looking at immos a lot too, because I feel like that's a big thing. I think there's a lot that could be learned out of this that's not just team based. So we already went through the whole team VOD aspect. I'm going to try to lean away from that as much as possible. And try to focus strictly on you. But if you have questions about the team and what the team could have been doing better, or if I see something that like this is kind of on the team, I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect.
But let's get into this. Because, I mean, you don't really see team being the entire issue until you hit like very, very high levels of play. But hello, Zorn, how you doing? Okay, let's see here. So first thing, right off the bat, you're using grenades, healing grenades, before the fight even starts. I always tell this to Baps right away when I review their stuff. Even if they're like 4.1, 4.3, everyone makes this mistake. Even I do. You don't want to get into the habit of right-clicking before the fight starts. Because here, I mean, do you understand why?
Yeah.
Because you don't have resources then, and you have to take a much quicker fight. When you want to be able to give your team as many options as possible. Shocker, I used to do the same thing.
Yeah,
I didn't even shit talk you yet. It's a very bad habit that everyone does. Because here's the thing, we've all gotten shit talked as a support in ladder, and then you never want to miss heals again. The problem is this leads to very bad habits when you're just healing when you don't have to.
Yeah.
If someone dies that quick, it's usually their problem. And if they shit talk you, just shit talk back and I mean, deal with the consequences, I guess. I don't know. Because, see, now we're at... Like, before your Ryan really took considerable damage, you're very low on resources. Yeah. The regen burst was too, but I'm not really going to go over that, because regen burst is, like, the last thing you want to focus on.
Okay.
The MO worked. Try to get it around corners a little bit better. You kind of threw it in the open. You see that? You want to make sure that you're putting it in cover around a wall. It's very nitpicky, but
yeah, I'm
really waiting for blaringly obvious stuff. But what's
trying to think quickly because I thought the other Ryan was going to pin my Ryan.
I understand that. Yes, that's the thing with this retrospective stuff. You want to, after this kind of stuff, you want to go in then with the mindset of I'm going to lamp around corners and also be quick.
Yeah.
It's something that you know, but putting it into practice is much, much more difficult.
Yeah.
But as long as you have the mindset to improve, this kind of stuff will come quick. For me, my problem, like, I got onto stuff quick and I learned quick. It was just, it came to a point where I did not want to learn quickly anymore and I just was hating it. But I like teaching it now, so. Alright, this is good. Yeah, alright. Wasn't a perfect fight by any means, but you guys did win. Your aim doesn't look awful so far, so I mean that's good.
That's something.
But yeah, let's keep it going. Watching this tomfoolery. I'd honestly be looking to get some poke damage or something. I understand they just died, but looking for something is always something that I Trying to. Alright. We're left clicking shields. Good. 1 too many grenades. 3, 4 too many grenades. 5 too many grenades. See what I'm saying? If you substitute all of this, right? And another thing's positioning wise, but I think the whole resource management idea, if you swap out all those grenades and focus on breaking Rhine shield or pressuring Rhine back here, you fix your positional mistake and you get like you're reversing negative value and making it positive value.
I see.
So by spamming left click, you're then going to have more resources as well, and it's really going to help you become better at Baptiste. Not only Baptiste, but like really all the flex supports, to be honest. Okay. Like that tip alone, I could give to like any Bap player, and for some reason they come back and you're like, dude, like 4 games after VOD, I won every game and I went up 100 SR. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, it's a quick fix, something that'll like it really does set you apart because it gives your team more wiggle room. But yeah, the right clicks, just you could be doing something more here, and it seems like you have the aim to do so. So I don't think it's a confidence issue. I like the shift before they engage. It's fine. A little late on the immo. That fight was a little weird though, so I mean I'll give it to you. You're backing up here, okay. Yeah, you guys shouldn't have won this fight, but whatever. Looking to hit that was good. Healing Zarya. Left shift not super necessary, but whatever. Okay, you have window. You already won the fight though. You're forced to stay on point. I don't really agree with that from a team perspective, but it's whatever. I think it'd be better if you kind of pushed in and Lucio stayed back. I'd be pushing in now. So like this idle time, you want to make sure that you're pushing in forward. I mean, I don't know really what you were doing at this point, but you want to make sure that you're mitigating idle time.
Okay.
And always trying to do something, because that's just how Overwatch works. And you always want to be trying to get value, because your Ryan's. Here's the thing, right? Like, if you can make it so that you avoid the fight right here, you want to do that. And the way in which you do that is by holding with your Rhine, or at least being within line of sight. Like, right here is a really good angle for Bap to find damage, especially if the Rhine is dead too. So I would not be holding cart if you don't have to. I hate holding cart on Bap specifically. I think you can do a lot of damage on Bap. He's very strong right now.
Okay.
I understand it's really nitpicky, but against better teams, they're gonna punish that a lot quicker. Yeah. Which was kind of the theme of this scrim, or this VOD review I did. Okay, you didn't need to left shift that. You can just look for the directive. Let's bring this back a little bit. You guys probably called that you wanted to window fire strike, right?
Yes.
See, this is why it's a problem. Step 1. Let's take this back a little bit. How's it going? How you doing, Chilled Cheese? Welcome back. Welcome back. So, step 1. You always want to be trying to immo on an angle. Let me draw this out before it even happens. You understand what I mean by an angle, right?
Yes.
Did you watch my BAP guide?
No, not yet.
Okay, I honestly, there's a lot of stuff in there that I hate to plug my own content every time, but there's a lot of stuff in there I think that would help. You don't even have to really hardcore listen to it. But here's the thing, I'm sure, like, I don't know how old you are. Like, have you taken geometry?
Yes.
Okay, like at least we understand 45 degrees angles and shit. Yeah. So this was actually like something. This spot right here, I've went over with my coach a few times. What's the difference between a horizontal window like this? Oh, hold up. I need to make this not as bulky. How do I do that? Okay. So, like, what's the difference? Let's say that the fight's going on right here. Like this choke right here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say that you're on this side and the enemy's on this side. That, like, enemy's on the payload. What window is going to get more value? A window placed here. All right, like pink, yellow, or blue?
Blue. Because,
yes, why?
Well, if it's the yellow one, you have to peek all the way out to use it. And if it's the pink one, you have to stay back or stay on the right, and they can just kite it really easily. But the blue one gets you like.
It's impossibly hard to walk past too, right? You understand
Yes.
that? The blue one? This one easily walk past. This one they can easily kite. This one you can really get from any angle.
Yep.
And it's really weird because when you're setting up for a fire strike, you want to try to make it, you feel like your mind wants it to be like extremely horizontal in order to make it very easy. But the reality of it is that even though this is crooked or like at a 45-degree angle, it's still a lot. Oh shit, chat, you're right. My bad. Sorry, I'm so sorry. If you do it at this blue angle right here, it's still the same like to aim, and you can get more value out of it too. That's not like the same exact thing, but the problem is that when you did actually end up placing your window, it wasn't like crooked at all. I understand it's at a weird spot, but let's slow this down now. So like here's the problem I have with this window. It's very easy to walk past. So let's draw this out. They probably don't end up actually punishing you for this. But you end up putting window here when, in my opinion, with the situation you were granted right now, the situation you put it in, you could have put it like here. Oh, that's a bad drawing. You could have put it like on a crooked angle there. So even if they walk past it, it's not like you can run around it and do a little bit more. The problem is, in my opinion, I feel like you're too tunnel visioned on actually trying to get that, and you're not using the better angle and telling your team to do the better angle, which is right here, in terms of where their Rhine is.
Yeah, I understand.
Because if you're going to fall back, I feel like it's better to go back here for your team since you have that Hanzo. But I understand your Kree is in a little bit of a bad spot. I just think that you're really tunnel visioned right now on trying to get value with the fire strike when that's just not what you want to do. I think the priority should be getting a very well placed window in comparison to just fire striking, because you don't have a pull, and generally better teams are just going to run a diva anyways and just eat it. So it's more important that you set up a window that's going to help you get more angles to shoot at while your Rhine pushes in. That's the whole idea. He can start off with the fire strike, but it's not really that big of a deal that it's right on, because people know it's coming anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
You want your window fire strike's awesome. The problem is that it's not practical. I love the combo too, but it slows your team down so much, and it's so predictable at this point in the game with how long the game's been out that it's like, It's been on Noob Hunter way too many times, and now it's lost value. Like, that's honestly what it is. But yeah, what's up, Baymax? Welcome. And what's up, Ilo? Let's keep going, though. Like, that window could have been a lot better, but given the situation, it's very, very odd.
One quick question. Can my main tank join the session? He's just in the channel above.
Alright. To be honest, against Lucio, that's true, Chilled. You have to understand, a good Lucio does not die to that. At all. Never. Lucio should be the last person dying to a fire strike. He shouldn't even be getting hit by fire strike. I would be willing to bet money that he ran into it. They can't speed away. I think the movement could have been better, and the positioning on the Lucio could have been better when that is something that's very telegraphable. Especially when the Baptiste is looking at the ground. It's kind of like, connect the dots. That's my opinion. Let's keep moving though, so. Brian gets walled, you're playing back. This is good. Window ends up actually doing things, but it probably shouldn't have. Your aim's not bad. The only thing I do see with your aim is crosshair placement. I just don't think you trust yourself right-click direct impacting with the grenades. You do know now, though, that they changed it so you heal 70 on direct impact, 50 on splash.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're trying to aim up a little bit so that you're not hitting splashes when you actually would be hitting it. Yeah. Yeah, all good, chilled. Again, I think you should be pushing up here, looking for spam, looking for damage, shield breaking. That's the kind of stuff that like you carry games with. This would also be your opportunity to be like, hey, why are you guys going left? Play here and let me spam. It's that kind of stuff. Like, where's your Kree? Oh, your Kree's on his way back. So this is the kind of stuff that, like, Lucio, speed the Kree back so that you can spam here. The thing is, being here, you're not pressuring them out at all, and eventually you guys actually lose, well, should lose the fight for it, but you don't. Too much idle time. I think you could be doing more. And I understand you are shooting from here, but damage fall off is the thing. So you're not getting as much value as well. Aim is pretty solid for 3.6k, to be honest. Yeah, it's fine. I like that regen burst. Didn't use immo, which is really, that is really spectacular. That you just knew not to immo there. That is really high level stuff. Wow. Okay. I take it all back. What the fuck, man? That whole fight was so good because you analyzed their threat levels. You understood that they were low on health, but they weren't really in threats. That was really good. That was a really good squeeze of the ammo. At the end, you panicked and saw your Ryan low when you could have healed him up.
I don't really remember, but I think he called for it. I'm not sure though.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. If the Ryan calls for immo, I don't care. He does not see the same thing you do. Okay. And if you make a mistake, that's on you. But here's the thing. Your BAP, you can see a lot more than the Ryan can. I can understand if the Ryan is calling for him to be aggressive. That's good. In this situation, it's more on your Ryan being like calling for immo here is the wrong play because like you're calling for immo to stay alive, but the BAP is the one that's in charge of that. Meanwhile, Ryan is in charge of taking the space, therefore he should be the one that is calling for an aggressive immortality. Which the Ryan also, that is on the Ryan to understand the moment that it has to be for him to actually use that immortality aggressively. Like, he has to know the situation where it is correct to do that.
Yeah.
That's like a big pet peeve I have with like big Ryan streamers, is that like the ego can get the best of them and they'll be like, yo, just immo me. Why the fuck did you immo me? Like, dude, it was your mistake. Not the BAP's, it was the Ryan's mistake for feeding. So if you like, I'm not trying to call out ILO here, because I mean, I'm not trying to shit talk. I'm just trying. Seeker was not the Ryan. Cloudy, I'm not, guys, we're not opening up that wound again. We're leaving that shit in the past. It was an ugly game, whatever. I'm not gonna say shit on my stream about them. But like, if people shit talk you, I think the good players will understand that, like, you made a mistake, whatever, go next. But let's just move on from that. However, if he would have called for an immo and been aggressive and you just said, no, I'm not doing that, that's kind of you in terms of like a macro perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, but you see here, he took no damage, definitely didn't need the immo.
Yeah.
It might cost you. I don't know what that sorry is doing. Didn't need the regen burst. That honestly might be something I say, actually, because the immos weren't awful. Another problem I have, lots of idle space. Always make sure you understand what your next step is, and you're preemptively getting prepared to do that. So, like, standing here and just kind of looking around isn't the best play. I understand what you were thinking was, like, should I get on the high ground? Should I stay here? And a lot has merit. I would say probably staying where you are, maybe back a little bit. Playing, like, here to spam out the left angle. The moment you see that they're not doing that, you can just peek out here, and that's probably the safest spot to do it. I don't recommend you go to the high ground, but why do I say that?
To not go to the high ground?
To not jump to the high ground. Why would you not want to jump to the high ground on Baptiste here? It's another hard one. There's actually a lot of reasons too. But just give a reason.
Could get walled off, and I don't see them.
I would argue that you'd okay, that's a different thing. I'm just gonna explain it because I don't want to get off track. So here's the thing. Jumping, we'll get to the jumping for a Mei wall here. Okay, we're gonna go back to geometry class, okay? You know the Pythagorean theorem?
Yes.
A squared, B squared, C squared, or whatever it is, and I don't know if you learn math in English. That makes sense, though?
Yeah.
By being on the high ground, you are here. Before
Yes.
you were here. And we understand that the hypotenuse is the longest side. Therefore, you were making it a farther distance to shoot to your team. You were also making damage fall off much greater. Much, much, much greater. And you won't notice it. You'll think that you're on them, but you're not.
Yeah,
now,
that makes a lot of sense.
obviously, like, you could be like, well, what if it's on this trapezoid and I'm aiming right down? Well, you're just going to miss more shots. It doesn't need to be that crazy. That's why I think positionally, like, and again, I don't want you to feel like you're, like, dumb for not knowing this stuff, because I learned this one at, like, the very end of my stay in P2P. Like, this is where you want to be almost all the time with BAP, just horizontally with your team. Obviously now here, though, let's say that we're doing Mei, and stream can see this, right? All right, cool. Let's say that this is a Mei wall, this blue thing. Your Ryan is this guy. And you are this guy. Pink dude. So, and there's like a high ground. Let's just say that the yellow is a high ground up here. Where you want, like, if there's a Mei wall separating you from your Ryan, what is your next play? Where do you jump? Like, where do you jump to? Do you try to shoot the wall down? What do you want to do?
Probably jump high ground. Unless my whole team is behind the wall, then we could shoot it quickly down.
Okay.
But
So
is there a play to jump like on top of the Mei wall? Is that too dangerous?
That is the exact play you should do every single time. Is immediately when you see a Mei wall, you should jump on top of that Mei wall. You don't want to over jump on it and full charge jump it, because then Kree just lines up 2 shots on you. This is like another part of BAP that's extremely difficult, and it's why I sometimes really get frustrated playing this character. It's because you have to be very precise with his ability here to jump onto this wall. Because immediately then, you force them to either drop the wall to try to force you out, or their wall gets no value because you immo right here. It's a light bulb. Woo! Okay. But the reason why you're not going to want to jump on high ground is, again, the same thing. Projectile time with immo now, which is really bad. Like, that's a really long immo. I get it's only like a few seconds or milliseconds, a split second, however much it would be in that situation. But that makes up for our dead Rhine. Yeah. Now, again, if your team... Let's go back a little bit more and say that your whole team, you have a whole squad over here, shooting the middle of this and breaking the Mei wall just in the middle. You can put your lamp right here in the middle, and it's covered on both sides by the enemy Mei wall. So it forces them to be like, well, we either break Mei wall and now we have no Mei wall, or we keep it up and now this immo is just going to keep the Rhine up. It's all about forcing them to make 2 really bad decisions. And making that stuff on the fly is something that's really difficult to do. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
I'm just going through, like, all of the stuff you're going to see a lot, making sure we're all clear on everything. But we're ready to go on.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so where were we? Oh, idle space, not knowing what to do. Understandable. Let's see what you do. Overextend a little bit. Didn't need the regen burst. Okay. Don't need all those right clicks. So let's go back a little bit, because there's a lot. I just kind of tunnel visioned on things one at a time. I overuse regen often, but that's because the only console support I trust is me. I can understand that, but it can be a bad habit as well. You really have to understand it. So yeah, you overextended a little bit too much because you didn't understand where you wanted to be. You wanted to be back a little bit more. That might force you to panic things, which will be what happens with your regen burst that you do. Well, you use 3 grenades. Can't just overlook that. You use the regen burst here. So, You used 4 grenades, right? You already understand that. I could say it every single fight, but I'm not going to. But there's something more, like that. There's something a little more glaring that happens that you didn't pick up on. What just happened that should change the way that you play this fight from here on for the next like 3 to 6 seconds.
Yes, should just go to DPS, right?
Why?
Everyone has a lot of life.
Because of beat drop. Poggers, he understands. He's following along. Let's go. All right, good stuff. Okay, this is the same thing with Transcendence. Immediately needs to be an on switch. It seems very simple, but I used to make the same mistake because I saw Ryan getting targeted by 6 people and I got scared. But you need to trust that and understand that damage is healing, and if you can find a pick here on the very many people that think they're just going to win the fight, if you find a pick there, you win the fight for your team. And as a support, that is crazy amounts of value that you are missing on by not just immediately turning that on switch on. Yep. So you do waste 1 nade, and then all these people are now out of sight. And Lucio gets a beat. Imagine if you hit 1 burst on that Lucio, your Zarya kills. Mm-hmm. It's something so minuscule, but it makes such a difference. And it is what makes Overwatch a beautiful game. Well, yeah. I'm okay with this window, given the scenario of the fights. Why? Well, it's not really a why thing. Looking for this selfish window when people aren't really focusing you, I'm totally fine with. The angle isn't awful as well, just based on like the way that this fight is going, because they have to go to cart. So I don't think this window is necessarily bad. This is one of those situations where you could merit, if you really wanted to, getting on the high ground. Because of Amplification Matrix pretty much making all of the damage fall off null and void to maybe get more line of sight. But I think what you're trying to do out of this grav and our grav window combo, I think this is fine. I think this is good. You jump out, well, you tried to. Okay. Honestly, not bad. There were a lot of small mistakes that I hope you pick up on. The biggest thing I honestly saw was just overuse of regen burst, but I really try to not look at that because that's something everyone does. The big thing I really saw, resource management. It's a simple fix, but you will keep doing it if someone doesn't tell you to do it, and that's just how it goes.
Yep. And
that kind of ties into regen burst as well, but that's a little bit more of a tough habit to break. So let's see how you play this. As a team, you kind of play it weird, so that's gonna kind of make it harder for you to play it out as bad. What you want to make sure is that you're playing with your Ryan, unless he's playing all the way up there. This is fine though. Generally, you'd want to be playing on statue, and you'd be wanting to play this little health pack room right here.
Okay.
Generally, that's a safer place to play. Now, if they're playing on this corner, where you're playing right now is totally fine. Totally fine. You don't want to go too far back though. Too many resources being dumped. Not enough damage being pumped. Yo. That's a really good... Yo, someone write that down. Too many resources being dumped. Not enough damage being pumped.
Clip it.
Too many resources getting dumped. Not enough damage being pumped. I'm using that for a future video. Damn, that's really good. That's a good one. I should be a rapper.
Yeah,
okay.
Man.
Okay. Yeah. See, like what I said stands here.
Yes.
Very, very much so. Like, it's gonna carry so much. You're gonna get so much more value out of this, so much more ult charge, and you'll have so much more room to make new mistakes. So, that's exciting. Means you're improving. I like that regen burst because you're pushing in, and you want it to be aggressive with your left clicks. That was good. Your aim is very good for a flex support. Keep that up. All right, moving on to the next fight. Too many resources being pumped.
That's probably gonna be every fight.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. A lot of left clicks here being lost. Early regen burst. That was... Okay, the tunnel vision on Zarya was a little bit too much. If you do end up watching the BAP guide, you'll understand this a little bit more why. I don't want to go too far in depth because I do want to make sure we finish this. You have to understand which character is in danger and which character is not. Your Rhine did a very risky play, to say the least. No hate on your Rhine. I think he's a pretty cool dude. From this point of view, sure, your Zarya looks like she might die, but who's more important in Brawl? Probably the Rhine that's pinning into the back line. You tunnel vision a little bit too hard on this Zarya when she, in reality, should be fine now based on where the Rhine is. But now look where your Rhine is. If you see your Rhine pinning into the back line, that is priority number one. Unless he's just not going to be able, like, unless you just can't save him. Like, I'm sorry, if your Rhine went all the way down here, down, like, I don't know, Colossus Boulevard to all the Wizard 101 homies in chat, you're not going to save that guy. Now, if he goes to Cyclops Lane, you might be able to pick him up. Like, right here, you definitely could get an MO around this little wall here that might be a little effective. Tunnel visioned a little bit too hard on what really should have been the threat, which was the Zarya, but you have to be able to adapt to I misclicked.
My janky plays.
Yeah, you misclicked. You misclicked. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You know, it was the cat on the keyboard or whatever. Dog on the keyboard.
Yeah.
You had the right idea, just because you tunnel visioned, you were too slow. So make sure you're staying adaptive and not autopilot. You do roll that Reinhardt, though. All right. Bunny hops a little bit too much, especially when they're running a sniper. Don't want to do that. Okay, that was risky, but we made it out. Whatever, we're just gonna keep moving. We have window. We want to be using that. Okay. You understand why jumping's a problem, right?
Yes.
Have you had this problem for a while? Or is this something that happens every now and then?
Jumping like this?
Yes. Just jumping in general. I'll give you something at the end of the session, give or take, to help with jumping. What I personally had to do, because I used to jump so much. What I personally had to do, because I jumped so much, was I just for a whole day of like a 4-hour block, my coach just told me, you're unbinding the jump key. And I had to figure out how to play the game without jumping. The whole team didn't even know that I wasn't using jump key. It was so scuffed. Luckily, BAP wasn't in meta. The problem is with that is that you kind of can't play BAP without jumping. It's a little bit more intense than that. Hello, Jeff. I'll give you something at the end that might help you with not jumping as much. It's really something that's a constant battle. Whenever a character comes in meta, like Ana or Zen, then you can kind of unbind the jump key and get used to it. But when you're playing BAP or Moira, you kind of need that jump key because it's a big part of the character. Moira for fade jumps, but that's like really advanced stuff. I don't like this. The idea was okay. The placement was, or the execution was very faulty. So step one, right? This is like a whole half a minute ordeal. What happened here? So right now your team should probably be like, yo, our Zarya's low. Let's play back right of point. Your team says no. Fuck that. We are better. Chills here for a little bit. Notices that they're split off very much so. Goes for the creep. That's great. The problem is that you forgot about a Hanzo. Right here, you kind of have to just be like, yeah, whatever. My team's probably gonna die. I'm gonna play point and walk backwards. What you end up doing is rotating in front of a sniper. You will die if this guy was good. Every time. Your Zarya would have died too. It's not something that you can really out-heal. But you understand that it's probably better to rotate back here as compared to right here when there is a Gorgon looking right at you. Any Destiny references? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's pretty basic, and I'm sure you understand that. Yeah. You are lucky to be alive. But here's what happens after. the team starts running in. You should use your vertical mobility, I think, to run through this passageway and then take the fight here and try to get to this position here. But because of how you placed yourself earlier, it's very hard to do that. But you understand that's the thought process I'm thinking here. Because then you'd be able to rotate back to here where your Rhine is, which is much more optimal. You'll see when we get to the window part. You do end up actually somehow living despite jumping there. Right here, though, you should be taking the time to use your Reinhardt to get back to that spot so you can really make the most out of the situation. Instead, you say, nah, I'm the front line. You take a very aggressive window, which is great, but it's very easy to walk past given the place that they are. A very, very much so better spots to locate your window would be right here on this corner. So this doesn't seem to me as much as you don't understand window. It seems more so that you messed up your positioning and the window took a hit because of it. That is something that makes, because if you set yourself up to be right here, I'm pretty sure you would have seen it.
Yeah.
But we understand why right here is not as good.
Yes.
Cool. If you have any questions, by the way, just let me know. I've been kind of zooming through this, giving a lot of information. I just want to point out that somehow that window will get value just because of the enemy that you're playing against. Okay, you're playing a little close to your Rhine, but it's fine. This is better where you are. He dies. Should have immoed. Assessing threat level. He was in very much in danger. That's the first time you held immo, though, I think, that I saw. I might have missed something. I've never seen the habit of a player not immoing enough, but if that's something we find, we'll get there. Looks like you're losing this fight. I like that. Left shift. Probably looking to immo this Kree, but he gets out somehow. Okay. And you're just backing up as a team. Cool. Let me get some water.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Very risky peeking that Hanzo. Very scary stuff. Don't need that left shift. You understand why I'm saying you don't need the left shift, right?
Yeah.
You can rely on the main supports to heal you or heal your team. You don't want to get into the habit of using it every time, because that's the most glaring thing I'm seeing right now, and that's weird. Usually it's immos. Where did you use your immo? Hold up. Ah, that's a good immo placement, I think. You could have waited maybe a little bit. Wait, how did it die? Hold up. No chance the Rhine got that close to you, right? Huh!
What?
He got all the way in there. I don't know if you really could thread the needle on that immo much better. The Rhine just kind of walked in and didn't get killed. I guess it's... whatever, man. I mean, that's kind of hard to coach because it's so niche. Whatever. You guys probably end up using... No, wait. I like the aggression there. That was really good. Focusing the damage when you need to get the pick. Cool. You just pulled the fight out. You probably shouldn't have pulled out. Support your Hanzo when you can, when he's going to take duels like that. It's more so your Zarya's job to do that. To make sure that your DPS is asking for that bubble. But you can also do that with just heals and make sure that you're in the line of sight. Maybe it wasn't known, but you do. Still, the problem is timing could have been quicker. Just thinking about these things before they even happen. There you go. Well, hello, Sajik. How you doing? Can you review a buy I sent you? I don't remember you sending me one, and I already set up 2 for today. I'm very sorry. Okay. I think your team can be playing the choke a little tighter there. But whatever. They probably expired by now. It's too good.
All better.
Okay, we're just chilling. I don't like how far back you are playing this. If your team is going to play like this far back, you need to tell them to play closer, because this is going to hinder your window placement. Okay. I think you playing close, like as a team, holding the line here is really important. Now, if they do end up nanoing, you guys can just back up this way or really try to back up that way. I just don't think you need to. I think you have immo, they don't. You win that fight. You can just window. Dude, what's the biker gang doing outside my house? Oh my god. Anyways. Yeah, that sucks because you could have probably gotten more value out of that. That was more of a team thing than you. You should be dying right now because you already lost the fight. You spent an extra like however many seconds not dying when the fight was already lost. You might not get another fight. That's good now. Let's go all games right after you're done. When I DM'd you, I have multiple games. Can you read 1 of the 4 after you're done with the others you sent? I think those probably have since been deleted because of the update they had, so I can't do that. I'm sorry, dude. Alright. Resources, resources, resources. Okay, you should be looking to window. Still windowing? Any windowers? Okay, so it seems to me that you're very hesitant to window because you are looking for a perfect window spot. It is more important that you launch that shit out fast, because amplification matrix gets charged extremely quickly, and the fact that you hesitated actually then caused you to lose even more value. I don't care if it's your team's plan to grab dragon. Well, actually I do, but if you're gonna use window, use it. Don't think about using it and then don't. In this situation, if your team does call for a grab dragon, that is a pretty solid win condition considering the fact that they only have beat, and you can just shred through that beat rather quickly, since they don't have immo. Yeah, I'll do a VOD later, Citric. I would just need another code and not this stream. But yeah, if you're gonna use immo, or if you're gonna use window, make sure you use it. If you're gonna use it, right here, what happened? You're like, oh shit, this stuff's getting no value. Do I window this window? But no one's gonna use it. Oh shit! Now my Ryan is crit. Oh shit! Now my Ryan is crit. And then you eventually use your window, which the idea is okay. You already won the fight because you killed the Ryan. If your Ryan is standing and their Ryan is dead, and you have reasonable amounts of people up, you have won the brawl fight. You've won. I don't care what anyone has to say. If anyone has a hot take, if your Ryan is standing and you have a reasonable amount of people alive, it doesn't matter how many people they have alive, you are most likely going to win that fight. You don't need to invest window. If your Ryan is dead there, I think investing window is totally fine. I just don't think it was necessary. Also, it's only really going to get one pick. I just don't think it was necessary. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Ryan is the most important character in Brawl. Again, aim very solid. I don't get it. You better aim than half flex sports in tier 2. It's crazy. Probably me too, to be honest. Okay, you're looking to immo the corner? Didn't immo the corner. You understand that you should be looking to immo that corner immediately when that grab is happening.
Yeah.
And you know what corner I'm talking about? The corner right here? Much more beneficial because it can't get shot. I understand the Ryan can swing on it, but on this side, the Ryan has to commit much harder. Does that make sense? Stuff that seems very easy, but in practice is very difficult to remember everything.
Sorry, your mic cut out.
Yeah, what's up? My mic cut out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You understand why this should be on this corner over here?
Yes.
That all makes sense.
Yeah.
Stuff that's very easy to understand but hard in practice. So it's gonna take time. And it ultimately made him die because he couldn't rotate back into the Immor still because of its placement. But you guys still somehow will probably pull this fight out. Imagine if you had window here. Like, that's what I'm saying. It just makes your value so much exponentially better. I'm okay with that left shift. If she wanted to be aggressive, she could have been. She probably should have been, but, you know. Trying to prevent that C9. Good ears. You tunnel visioned a little hard on it. The moment he uses his boop, you don't really have to worry about him too much. You can take a look back real quick, give a heal nade, and focus on him some more. Oh wait, yours already didn't die. Never mind. I would still reconflict to make sure that everything is okay. And what I mean by reconflicting, if you've watched anything else of my past, just like quick looking back, looking forward. It takes like a millisecond if you're fast enough. I don't know what your sends is. My sends is 806. Like 800 DPI, 6 sends. It's not too bad for me. Should be doable.
Yeah, easy.
Idle time again. This is time that you could be pushing with your Rhine to be getting precious window charge, dealing more damage to shields to force them to question whether they should engage or not. As much things as you can do as support as possible. You're doing your job as support, but imagine if you could do more.
Yeah.
And that's what makes good supports great. And that's what makes Masters GM... Well, some of that can be luck too, or just who you know. But consistently can make you better. Better. Okay, your team backs up. This is great. You should be looking at Immo a corner, but it doesn't look like you have to. Immo wasn't needed. Understanding threat levels. Sure, the Rhine is nanoed, wasn't swinging. You could have healed that, and it shows because the Immo was never used. In retrospect, it was easy to see that. In the moment, it was not. Like, kind of understanding when it's needed and when it's not is hard in the moment, but if you're looking for it, it's a lot easier.
I have a question. Like, this MO wasn't needed, but isn't it better to use it at least because he will probably have it up, like, before the next push? Like, better to be safe than sorry.
The problem is it can become a habit.
Yeah.
In different fights where you use it, and then you find that you could have used it in a better situation later. The problem is with this team is that they're not allowing you to have the opportunity to make that mistake because they are dying so quickly, and it's like such a mechanical difference. But if you played like this against like a GM team, when you eventually get to that level, because like this doesn't look like you're getting held back by anything that isn't possible to overcome, they'll start punishing you for that. Like it is very much so going to happen. And sure, you could say the MO could come back up, but if the MO gets no value, it gets no value. So even though it would be up again in 25 seconds, it's like, I understand better safe than sorry, but like, it's something that you have to train to understand that you'll be fine. Like, the safe than sorry, yeah, you could argue that, but why not just get better?
Yeah, no, I get that.
You know, why not just shit on everyone? You know, not just these
yeah.
guys. I don't think you really need to respect these guys too much either, because you guys kind of rolled them from what it looks like. No. No. I said no. Again, idle time. Lining up that window. If you're gonna look for a window, make sure you're not playing this side of the cards, and that you're playing this side of the cart and being very assertive with the space that you control, and you make sure that it is known on Brawl. Could be just a playstyle difference, but I would prefer to be a little bit more aggressive. Nah, but why is it legit only your stream I get ads on? I don't know. Sorry, dude. I can't really control that. I do make money from ads, actually. Do I? I think I do. It's like a fraction of a cent, though. It's nothing worth. Again, MO placement not needed for 1. Could have been on a corner for 2. It will probably end. This is one of those fights that it's going on for a lot longer, and we're gonna see when you could have used Immo differently to actually make you win the fight. Well, right there, your team kind of split. But if they were playing better, that's one of the things that could have happened. You're Ryan right there. Bam. This is what I'm saying, why better safe than sorry can really fuck you over. Damn it, I got demonetized. I was doing so well. This is one of those spots. This is one of those spots where it's really going to mess you up. Like, this is not going to do... Because, I mean, sure, your team kind of messed up really bad. But imagine if your team was just playing better, playing stacked. You could have gotten a lot more value out of that. I'm willingly giving you money. That's kind of how it works nowadays. I'm sorry, Kat. Thanks for watching, though. Much love. Okay, so we're coming to the end of this VOD in terms of time. Let's double. Okay, hold up. Ring, ding, 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 ding. Okay. Resource management could have been an issue, but it's been that for a while. So left clickers, any left clickers? I saw that shield down. Quicker. That's all I'm gonna say about that. The placement was unlucky. Quicker. That's all I care about. Quicker.
Okay.
I'm starting to get an idea of what really needs to be done here to help you out, which is good. It's generally how it goes by the time you finish the VOD. You go out as a team. Fine with that left shift. Whatever. I'm not gonna go too hard into it. I like the selfish window. I'm okay with that MO. Could have been placed a little closer to payload. Whatever. I'm not going to nitpick that. This looks like you just won the game, though. You're not cart duty. That's Lucio. Go forward. Understanding what you need to be doing in between fights. Really important. This could have gone really bad. That's a good ammo placement. You don't want to jump so much. You want to play cover there. That was the reason why you died. That fight could have been played a lot better, but I'm waiting for the screen to go black. Because it looks like your team pulls through. That could have been a really bad fight, though, because you guys didn't get a lot of value at the start, and the positioning was very, very lackluster. But... Right, we're on black screen now. Pog. Okay. I got a lot that I could talk about, but I'm going to only give you a few. I would suggest that you write this kind of stuff down, because that's what really helped me. It really, like, I used to be really against it, but once I started doing it, I found that I was performing a lot better in scrims and stuff. Okay. First thing, what's the most important thing? Resource management. For sure. Resources. And this is the one that I'm going to put the golden star on for the most important thing that you need to look at. Because it is a problem that you're going to have for the rest of your life if you don't look at it, and it's going to make your gameplay... It's going to make it a lot easier to do things, you'll find. And your team will thank you for it. Especially your Reinhardt. This also goes for other characters like Moira, like Ana. Not so much Zen, but Moira is probably the second runner-up that resource management is really, 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 really important. I'm mostly tying this to your primary fire, but you could also say this for the regen burst as well. I wouldn't look at... While the regen burst was a pretty glaring mistake, I wouldn't focus on it too hard because other stuff is just more important, in my opinion.
Okay.
Number 2, I would say, like, transitions, I guess, is what I'm looking for here. And what I mean by this is, like, what are you doing in between fights? Are you poking? Where do you want to start your fights positionally? Where does your Rhine need to be to force you to get as much value as possible before the fight starts? Left-clicking shields instead of left-clicking shields instead of right-clicking with resources. Looking for that MO faster so you can left-click shields and maybe kill someone before they even get to your MO. Just quicker stuff. Recon flicks. quick. This would probably be my second runner-up thing because you understand what you're doing and your precision is good. I want to see how precise you can be when you're going fast because that is what Overwatch demands. Like, did you play CS or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I can tell because you're hitting all of your shots, but it's like very slow and methodical. That's not what Overwatch is. It's methodical but extremely quick. It's taking like CS and League and making them have a kid, and it's very. It could have been such a great thing, but they messed it up. Oh God. Anyways, I mean, it's still a really good game. It's just, you know, could have been better. Anyways, transition speed, and then this is going to be something that's going to be highlighted a lot better, but like threat levels, you understood this really well. I think watching the BAP guide might help, maybe the Ana guide as well. I think I look from the lens of me, I think they're great videos, but I might be a little biased, just a bit.
I'll watch them.
If you have the time, you know, what else are you gonna do with 30 minutes? I mean, you could do a lot with 30 minutes. So I appreciate it if you would watch it, but you don't have to.
I will.
Threat levels. It's a concept that will help you understand flex support a lot easier. Like the reason why I'm giving you this stuff is that it's very transversable. I don't know if that's the right word to use here, but I wouldn't focus too much on threat because it kind of seems like you have it down. I think resource management and transitions are the big things you really want to be like making sure are solid first. And then the last thing I want to tell you, I tell this to everybody, the 15 to 30 minutes of aim arena a day, I don't think you really need it for aim. I think you need it more for movement. Aim arena. You know what aim arena is?
Yes.
You know what tryhard FFA is?
Who it is?
No, what it is. Tryhard FFA.
Yeah.
Those kind of lobbies, doing those for a warm-up, for training, on the side of whatever else you do. I don't know you very well as a player, because I mean I only met you like now in the VODs we've done in the past. I don't know if you do a regiment, but if you don't have one and you have the time to, I used to suck. I still do suck, but I don't suck as much. And what helped me with aiming is just doing half an hour of aim arena a day when I got on before scrims.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of time, but it was something that worked. And if you really want to test yourself, making like unbinding jump and getting used to crouch. Where is your crouch bounded? Control?
Control, yes.
And that's what you use? All right. For me, I used to have it on mouse wheel. Like I had a really messed up setup because I used to play on console. That's just how it was. But the moment I stopped jumping and started crouching, I was living for like 3 extra seconds, and that's a lot of time in like some really high level scrims. Like I'm talking like back when it was like what hype unit when they used to play, like that kind of stuff. I was living against like crazy cat on Reaper and Widow so much. It was so much easier. It really makes a difference. Do you have any questions though? Because it is 5 p.m. my time.
Not really for now. You explained it very well.
Okay. Just make sure if you need a screenshot of this, I mean it'll be in my Twitch VOD. I might put this up on YouTube. Do you have anything you want to plug, team-wise, Twitter-wise, Twitch-wise, before we end the VOD?
Elo, do we have the team Twitter?
No, we have a team Instagram.
Team Instagram.
Yeah, we need to get on that team Twitter thing.
Well, if you guys want to send that to me, then I can just put it in the description if that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, we will.
But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. If I do end up uploading this to YouTube tomorrow, which I mean I might, I felt like this was a pretty good VOD. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want your own stuff reviewed, you can join the Discord, which will be down below, or you can look over at my Fiverr that I just started, and I just got my first VOD done, and I think it went pretty well.
It was awesome.
I gotta vouch. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. But until next time, gotta peace out and pals out. I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Peace.